Leading up to my Cap City run in 2024, I was excited, nervous. This was going to be my third half marathon. My husband, my brothers, my sister, and my kids were all there. My daughter had made a sign, but she never even ended up holding it up with all of the chaos of what happened that day. Right before the race, when I was in the restroom, I remember turning to shut the door, and then my neck hurt really bad. It felt like I had strained my neck. Everything was spinning, and I felt really dizzy. My vision was extremely blurred. When the race started, definitely intensified. The first water station, I was kind of spitting my water back out and having a hard time swallowing. Around mile 3, I remember hearing a horrible ringing sound in my ear. At the same time, I kind of stumbled into a parked car. I just remember having to stop and walk. I remember seeing signs for the 5 mile, and something inside me told me, oh, you should probably just stop. Like you are running into things, you're hearing noises, you're not able to drink your water. This is not like how my normal runs are. I definitely wanted to finish at all costs, even if that, unfortunately, was a detriment to my health. When I had about a half of a mile left, a race official ran up to me, and this was the first person that I really talked to since the start of the race. I was mixing up words. Evidently, it was very jumbled and didn't make a lot of sense. And he said, ma'am, you can't finish this race. You really need to get help. And I remember having my Apple Watch pointing at, and I'm like, I have to finish. I tried to open my phone to call my husband, but my hands weren't working well. And so it actually called my teacher friends. They run a little quicker than me, so they're always waiting for me at the end of the race. They could not understand what I was saying at all. They just knew something was wrong. They just started running back up the opposite direction to find me. They literally walked with me through the last half mile. I remember my friends saying, like, do you need to see a medic? But then the adrenaline of being done set in, and I saw my husband and my kids from afar, and I was like, no, I think I'm okay. And my brother said he was so confused because I just seemed like I was impaired. My daughter and husband had a daddy-daughter dance that was happening that night. I remember, thinking to myself, if I can just get them out the door for the dance, then I'm gonna get some help. I remember being in the waiting room, researching some of these symptoms, and then it's saying something about a stroke. Remember texting another friend and saying, do you think I had a stroke? She's like, you did not have a stroke. You're 35 years old. You're young and healthy. Eventually found out that I had had 3 strokes throughout the course of the race. I stayed in the hospital about 3 days. I had speech, occupational, and physical therapy. That took at least, maybe a month to be able to walk straight. I was determined to be able to run the half marathon again. With my trainer's help throughout the summer, I baby stepped into a couple of 5Ks, and eventually I was able to run again a year later. I had several goals that day. My number 1 goal was not to have a stroke during the race, which I accomplished. And my next goal was not to walk, but it was so emotional. I just remember crying at the finish line, and my friends that were there with me the first time, they were there again, and they were crying also. My family was all there. It was definitely powerful. I just remember being like, this race didn't define me, or this stroke didn't define me. I felt like that was sort of a chapter that was closed. I'm back to myself. That's not my identity anymore. Like, I can move on from this. Now I realize how important it was that I should have definitely listened to my body more. I know it's easy as a mom and a wife to you want to help your kids first or help your spouse first. But if you're not healthy and you're not taking care of yourself and getting help when you need it, then you can't be there to help your loved ones.